Hey everybody, Gary here with Pow Music, and in this video we're going to go over Maria También by Khruangbin. So what's awesome about this band is that they mix a kind of hip-hop backbeat, funky bass, and these kind of like Middle Eastern, African, reverb-drenched guitar lines from the guitar player. Super cool coming together of sounds, and the main technique in this song in particular are these trills, this kind of... So it's like a quick hammer on and pull off. So throughout the song, throughout the solo, throughout the riff, it keeps happening over and over. So right from the very start. So I'm gonna go over the song part by part, give you some tips on the technique, discuss a little bit about what's going on from a music theory standpoint, and if you want to download the tab, both the PDF and the playable tab as a GPX file if you have Guitar Pro, or if you want to just click on a secret Songster link. Songster is a website that allows you to also play the tab. If you sign up, you could slow it down and do cool stuff like that. That's all available to Pow Music patrons, and the link is in the description. Also, by supporting the channel by becoming a Pow Music patron, you'll get access to me personally in live face-to-face video lessons that I do twice a week. There's usually only a few people on at a time, so I go around and work with everyone individually, or you could just watch, check it out, hang out, ask questions through the chat, up to you. But that's all available to Pow Music patrons, and the link is in the description. All right, let's get into it. This song is in B minor. And there's a couple different scales we use here. We use the B minor scale. We use the B harmonic minor scale. And then we play a couple notes that are outside of the scale, like this one. When he goes... Right? But it's less about the scale and more just about that trill effect. Right? Alright, so we start here on the 7th fret. And on the 7th fret, we're going to play a B minor 7 chord. Now, if you bar the whole fret, that's what I'm doing because I want to be ready for this note for the riff. Because I go... So I'm barring my whole finger. Now, if you played all the strings... That would be called a B minor 7 add 11. This would be the 11, kind of a crunchy chord. Generally, if I play this chord, I do it like this, and I mute out the A string by using one finger on the low E and then one finger on the top 4 strings. But finger style, I play it like this. With one finger because I could skip that A. But in this case, I'm just going to hit the top 4 strings and then go into the riff. So now we're just going to walk up the scale. 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, 9. And now here's where we do the trill. We do a trill followed by the note the trill starts on, like this. 9, 10, 9, 9, 9, 10, 9, 9. So 9, 10, 9, that's the hammer-on pull-off. Then we hit 9 again. That's what you really got to get for this riff. So work on that for a bit. 9, 10, 9, 9. Now I'm using fingers 3 and 4. 9, 10, 9, 9. He goes like this. He goes... He likes to use his first and second finger for both. I personally just find it easier to not move my hand, but you might find it easier to do the trill with fingers 1 and 2, so as opposed to so whatever's easier for you. Anyway, so we got the now we're going to do that 4 times on frets 9 and 10. So 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, 9, do 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 do. Then we come down to the 7th fret and do the same thing twice. So putting that together. So we do it between 7 and 8 here. So one more time. 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, 9, trill, note, trill, note, trill, note, trill, note, trill, note, trill, note. So you just want to just work on that, getting that speed up. You can just do this over and over. All right, so then after you do the trill twice there, followed by the note, trill, note, then you do this. And that's 7, 7, 10, 9, 10, 7, and the 10 and the 9 are on the E string. Then, the second half of the phrase, I'll play it first. Almost the same. We start on the open A string, which we could go, but that would be harder then. So open A is just a nice little trick that works out there. So now after that open A, then it's the same. Open 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, 9. Then again 4 trills. 2 here. And then instead of, we're gonna go, just walk back down to the root note. 7, 7, 10, 9, 7. So putting that all together. Cool, right? Then it happens again. But then sometimes, and I've listened to multiple versions of this, he does open E string instead of open A string. So. Okay, so that's the first part. Let me put that all together at a slow tempo. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now he goes like this. And that's from the Tiny Desk, that harmonic. I don't hear that every time, but he does it on the Tiny Desk and it's awesome. Okay, so now that is the harmonic minor. This is the leading tone, the sharp 7. That's what makes harmonic minor different than natural minor. Natural minor would be the note preceding the root note would be down a whole step. Da, da, da. But in harmonic minor, that note goes up a half step so that we have da, 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 da. So for that part, he goes do, 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 do. Kind of leads into it. So that's 6, 7, 9, 10, 7, 7, 7. And then for the trill, he goes, instead of, the other trills had a picked note separating them. These two don't. The third one does. So we got so 1, 2, 3, trill, trill, note, trill, note. So 6, 7, 9, 10, 7, Sometimes he just... But I like the... And that is 10, 9, 10, 9, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7, and then that harmonic. And you just lightly touch the strings right over the 7th fret. And then you can let it ring out. All right, now let's talk about the chord structure, because the next riff is all about the chord structure. So the chord progression goes B minor for 4 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A for 2 measures. 3, 4. A, 2, 3, 4. G for 1 measure. F sharp for 1 measure. Not singing it at all on pitch, but let's check it out. And the riff follows that. So here it goes right here. We've got 7th fret on the G string to start, right? Because we're on this B minor chord. And he does a little vibrato on that note right there on the 6th fret. Gives it that more Eastern sound. It's like a fast vibrato. So we've got 7, 6, 7, 6, 9 on the D, 6, 7 back on the G, da 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 da, and then we put vibrato on that 2nd note. Do that 4 times, right? Because it follows that chord progression. Then we go, and that is for this chord, right? So again, it follows that chord, and that's going to be starting on fret 6 of the G string to 9 on the D to 7, and then walk back up. Then it changes a little. We end up on this note, which is the dominant 7 of the A chord. Right? So we could even play A7 if we were just comping, if we were just playing the chords. And there's 2 ways you could play that. You could either go 6, 9, 7, 5, 7, 9, 6. I like to go 6, 9, 7, 10 on the A string. I think this is what he does. So we do that, then we go, and that's when we get to the G chord. Here's our G right here. So we start on the G. And this was the easiest one probably. Just walks down the scale. And that's 10, 9, 7, 10, 7, 9, 10. And then that one took me the longest to memorize. And that's for the F sharp chord. It's almost the same. 10, 9, 10, 9, 7, 9, 10. 9, 10 on the E string, right? 10, 9, 10, 9, 7 on the A. 9, 10 on the E. So putting it all together. 1, 2, 3. 4 times on this. Then the second time, he adds chords in between, really builds it. Just playing the top 3 strings here of that B minor chord. Then, and that's a B minor 9 chord. Beautiful chord. We just add this note, the 9th, on the 9th fret in this instance. Just a coincidence. So, same thing for the third and fourth time we play this riff. Then, now on the record, I believe he goes. But on the KEXP version, I think he did that because it was hard for him to get the chord right away. On the KEXP version, he goes. And all I'm doing there is playing that B chord, the top 4 strings. So starting on the D string, we've got 7, then 6, then 5, 5, and I bar those 2 away. So then I'm playing this G chord. This is the C shape in Caged. Right, it looks like a C. Now I like to just play the top 3 strings because it's easier. At most 4. Getting the pinky there is overkill. I don't think he does that. So I just like to go like that. You can play the whole thing if you want. And then for the last one, back to the B minor. Then he does a little chuck, and then goes back into the. And he does that twice. We went over that part already. So then after that part ends and we do it twice, then he plays that B minor chord, or B minor 7. Again, those trills. So now we're just soloing in that B minor scale. So he goes, he ends on that B minor and does this rhythm, ba da 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 da, then does this do do do, and that's, you know, leading down to the next chord. So what that is there is, and I didn't play it exact, I kind of improvised around it in the intro, but 8 to 10, so after this chord, da 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 da, 8 to 10 on the B string, 8, 10, then trill, and back down to the 7th fret. And then trill on the 7th to 8th, and then slide down to the 5th. A little out of tune. So then there's our A major chord. Just those top 3 or 4 notes. And then he trills between 5 and 7 a few times. And then back up to 7 to 8. That's kind of his thing. Then he goes. And that there is 5 to 7, trill, then backslide to 3, 3, 2, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 2, 3. And then we're playing the G chord, just the top few strings. Then same riff, but the notes are a little different. 3, 5, 3, 2, open 2. And then there's our F sharp chord. So sometimes he does more of an arpeggio or more of a strum. Then, second half of the solo starts pretty much the same way, but starts doing tremolo picking. And that's just where you pick, you know, one note really fast and it makes it almost sound like it's just holding out. And he just kind of plays around with this, with the B minor scale. So one good ear training exercise for you would be like, on this B string, try to find all the notes that sound like they're right. Trust your ear. See if you think they're right. For the POW Music Patron download, I'm gonna put the B minor scale across the B string. But don't look at it. Just as an activity, try to figure it out on your own. See if you can find all the notes that are right and then check the chart to see if you got it. So then he does the tremolo picking. Then lands back down on this A chord on that note for when the A happens. Then comes back to that 5 to 7 thing on the B string. And then again. And then the last time he's a little more aggressive with the strumming. And then boom, 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 boom. And then he just does kind of that funky strumming on the B minor chord. And that's on the 2, the of 2, and the end of 3. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. And that's really it. The only other thing you'll encounter is at the very ending, the last 2 chords with this riff when it goes. It does those last 2 twice. And then it ends on that note. And that's the end of the song. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed that lesson. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're struggling with, what you would need extra help on, what videos in the future you'd like to see. Have fun with this one. I'd like to also give a special shout out to Don Stringham and Cam Chernachan, 2 of my long-term patrons. Thank you guys so much for your support, and thank you to all of the POW Music patrons. Your support means everything to me. All right, everybody, see you in the next lesson.